We're going to get started standing. We're going to really work on getting the blood circulating through the body. We're going to work on lymphatic drainage, and we're going to work a lot on deep core engagement. So we're going to start standing, feet hip distance apart, right underneath you, toes pointing forward, easy stance. Let your arms relax, feel your hips back over your heels, and we're just going to start with a little bounce. So just easy in the knees, soft knees, and you're just letting everything bounce. Just let it go. Feel the arms really relaxed. Feel all the tension release from your body. This is a really good movement for lymphatic drainage and getting toxins out of the body and just getting everything moving. So just keep breathing normally here. And then we're going to start to add little twists of the upper body. So keep the bounce and start to sway from side to side. There's no perfect technique here or anything. It doesn't matter how it looks. Just move how it feels good. Keep breathing. And breathe it out. Good. Keep moving. Keep bouncing. This is so good to do it every day to get some energy and get the blood pumping. We'll sway one more time each way. And then relax it back to neutral. Find your standing position. We're going to find a neutral pelvis, so I want you to feel your hip bones and your pubic bone and find that they're on the same plane. So we want to be careful that we're not pushing our pubic bone out in front of us like this, and we want to be careful that we're not overarching and reaching the pubic bone through the legs here. So we want to find a nice flat position, nice neutral pelvis that allows us to have our gentle natural curve in the low back. We're going to maintain that. You can even put your hands on your hips to feel it. And I just want you to bend the knees, keeping your heels pressing in, keeping your pelvis neutral. Straighten the knees, and then lift the heels, going straight up like an elevator. Lower the heels. Bend the knees, press through the heels to straighten, and then lift the heels to come up. Awesome. Keep going. Bend, stretch, and lift. Good. I want you to feel like there's a lift of energy through the center of the body to help pull you up. That's going to be a little deep core engagement, and it's going to help you stay nice and upright and neutral in your spine and help you stay balanced. Good. We'll do 3 more. Bend, the pelvis goes straight down, up, and lift. And 2. Keep breathing normal here. 1 more. Beautiful. Take your feet out wide to a wide second position. So wider than the hips, and then you want the toes and the knees to turn out. I like to say towards the front corners of your mat. You don't want such a wide position that it's hard for you to balance. We just want that external rotation of the thighs that helps us turn on the deep rotators of the hips and the glutes a little bit. Arms just hanging down in front of you for now. We'll inhale to bend the knees, coming down into a squat, still pelvis neutral and going straight down. Knees are pushing back. Press into the big toe and the pinky toe evenly, and then push through those feet even more to press up. Feel that fountain of energy up through your body. Taking that again. Bend. And push down through the ground to press up. We're inhaling to open up through the bottom of the pelvis, widening our pelvic floor, and then exhale and imagine gathering and lifting all the way from below your pelvis up through the center of your body. We're going to take that one more time like that, and then we'll add an arm circle. So now you bend the knees, stay there, lift the arms up overhead, and then start to straighten the knees, reach the arms out to the side and up. Awesome, take that again, bend, up, reach it around, and again, and reach. Couple more. Good, inhale, and exhale. 3 more, inhale, and exhale. Good, 2 more. And breathe it out. 1 more. And breathe it out. Beautiful work. I'm going to face sideways now. We're going to do an exercise to test our balance a little bit and stretch the calf muscle. So again, standing with the feet directly underneath your hips. I like to do hands on hips here. Find your neutral. And then we'll step the right foot back. Bending the left knee in front of you, keeping the right leg straight, and push your right heel down into the mat as much as you can. Just a little bit of length through the back of that right leg. And then press your weight into the front leg and come up just to hover that right foot off the ground right next to your left foot. Yeah, so that's our test of our balance. If you need to have the toes down, that's fine. We're going to step back, drop the heel, and then come up. Maybe find your balance with the toes off the mat or just gently touching the mat. Let's take a few more. Press it back, heel drops. lift up, and press. Inhaling back, exhaling up. Let's do 2 more here, getting a little work through that standing hip now as well. And lift, and 1 more. And lift. Awesome, let's turn and do the other side. You don't have to turn around, you can stay right where you are, but I'm gonna turn so you can see my leg. So we're gonna step back, drop that heel, get a lengthening through the calf, and then press up to find your balance. And again, we push it back, and lift. And reach it back, drop that heel straight through the knee, and lift. We'll take a couple more there, test your balance, and lift. Keep the hips nice and neutral and even. Let's do 2 more here. Press it back, and lift it up. Last one, push back, and lift. Awesome, we're gonna take a roll down here. I want you to notice how your back feels, how your spine feels, because we'll do this roll up here at the beginning of class, or this roll down, and then we'll do it at the end of class as well, so you can see if there's a difference in your body. So feet are planted hip distance apart, toes pointing forward, feet are running like train tracks. Reach the arms out to the side and up to the sky. Nod your chin to your chest and start to roll down, letting your arms hang heavy, your head hang heavy, your upper back round, and then your middle back round. Soften the knees, let the head hang, take a breath at the bottom, and then exhale and roll back up, drawing the belly button into the spine. Taking that again, lift. Nod your chin to your chest, roll it down. Soften the knees. Make sure your head is really heavy, your neck is relaxed, and then roll it back up, drawing the belly button through the spine. 1 more time, and this time we're going to change it. We'll stay down at the bottom. Nod your chin to your chest and roll it down. Walk your hands out forward towards the bottom edge of your mat until you can place your knees down. And then we're just going to find a nice, easy hands and knees position. Hands directly underneath the shoulders and knees directly underneath each hip. We want to find a neutral position of the spine here. So you have that natural curve in your low back. Your sits bones here, those bony things on either side of your tush, are reaching straight back, and your tailbone is reaching slightly up. You want to imagine you can shine a light straight back out of the base of your pelvis. And then the sternum, your chest, is reaching slightly forward, and eyes are gazing down on the mat a little bit in front of your fingertips. From here, we're actually going to work in the shoulders a little bit. So what I want you to do is drop your chest towards the mat, keeping your arms straight, sliding your shoulder blades together. So it's like you could pinch a pencil between your shoulder blades. And then you're going to push down against the mat and widen your shoulder blades away from each other, pushing the ground away from you and pushing your chest away from the ground. We'll take it again. So we're sliding the shoulder blades together, and then we're pushing wide. So this exercise works our serratus anterior muscle, which is an often underutilized, underaddressed muscle that's really good for shoulder stability. And press. This is the muscle that helps us not let our shoulder blades collapse or wing in planks and in push-ups. So we're letting those shoulder blades glide together, and then we're pushing them wide on the back, really pressing through the pinky finger side of the hand. Let's take 3 more. Drop and press. And 2 more. Drop and push the ground away from you. 1 more. And press. Now stay pressed up there. Find your neutral spine and maintain it. And then we're going to try to do a little exercise called pregnant cat, which is going to start to really turn on our deep core muscle. Deep core muscles and the transverse abdominis specifically, which is a deep core muscle that goes around your entire waist, from front of the belly all the way around to the back. So on your inhale, I want you to think about really releasing your belly. Maybe let it go even more than you think you should. Really let those abs go, let it go. And then on your exhale, I want you to pull the belly back up into your spine, but without changing the spine, so we stay neutral. Yeah, so we inhale and we drop the belly, and then we exhale and we hug it in. So if you imagine you're a pregnant cat, on your inhale you release and let the little baby kitties hang towards the floor. And then on your exhale, you hug those baby kitties up into your back. Maybe a weird image, but that's, that's what the exercise is called. Inhale to let it go. Exhale to hug it up and in without tucking the pelvis, without rounding the back. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Keep thinking about a long spine even as you're engaging. Exhale. Good. Now, tuck your toes under. We're going to do the same thing, but make it a little bit tougher. If at any point you need to break off your wrists, please feel free to take a child's pose position, sitting back on your heels. And we're back up when you're ready. Inhale to open up through the belly. Exhale to hug that belly up into the spine, and then float your knees an inch off the mat. From here, I want you to try to keep your belly tight and inhale into your rib cage. And then exhale and breathe every bit of air out. 1 more breath hanging out up there if you can. Inhale into the ribs. Rib cage expands laterally. And then exhale and breathe it all out. And then go ahead and drop your knees down. We're going to take that again, but we're going to add to it at the top. So when you're ready, your next exhale pulls your belly up and floats your knees up off the mat. Good. And then we're going to start to rock forward and back. You rock forward towards the fingertips, rock back towards the heels. Rock forward towards the fingertips and back towards your heels. A few more like that. Forward and back and forward and back. If this isn't working for you, you can always just be down on your hands and knees breathing. 1 more. And back. Release those knees down. Untuck your toes and let's sit the hips back towards the heels. Walk your hands forward. Drop your chest. Let your forehead rest on the mat. And take a big breath, filling up the back on your inhale. And then exhale and breathe everything out. 1 more big breath. Breathe into the back body. Fill up your back ribs and your back lungs. And then exhale and release. Come on up to a sitting position now with your feet out in front of you. Knees are bent, feet flat on the mat. Toes still pointing forward. You reach your arms out straight in front of you. You drop your shoulders easy. Take a nice big inhale and then exhale and just roll down bone by bone, 1 vertebra at a time until you're laying all the way down on your back on the mat. From here, we'll find our neutral pelvis again. So we call this a constructive rest position. So it's a very relaxing position, but it's actually quite particular. So a lot of our deeper, more intrinsic muscles in the body are actually starting to turn on a little bit. So we've got parallel legs, toes pointing forward, knees bent to a comfortable position. So your heels are pretty close to your seat, not so close that you feel knee pain though. And your pelvis is neutral. So again, we have our hip bones and our pubic bone on the same plane, and feel free to feel that out, find it. Yeah, we should have a natural curve in the low back. The pubic bone is reaching through the knees and forward. It shouldn't be tipping up to the sky or really pointing down to the ground. That's too much arch. Okay, so we find our neutral, and we should feel our rib cage, our back ribs relaxed down into the mat. A lot of us, to kind of fake really nice posture, pop our ribs forward and up, so it can be tough for us to actually let them relax once we're laying down in this position and finding neutral. But this actually, just doing this, can help release our psoas muscle, which gets tight when we thrust our rib cage forward. So try to really find it. Find that neutral pelvis, and then see if you can just let your ribs go. See if you can let them relax. I want you to be careful not to force them down, but we're just going to try to find it relaxed down. Back of the head is touching the mat. Nose is pointing straight up to the sky. Try to pay attention if you kind of feel like you're gazing behind you instead of straight up to the ceiling. See if you can just nod your chin towards your chest slightly. From here, I want you to put your hands on your belly. You've found your neutral. You're going to keep your neutral. And all you're going to do is take a big belly breath. So inhale through the rib cage, through the belly, and then exhale and breathe every last bit of air out. And as you force those last little molecules of breath out, you're going to feel that deep core engage again. But we're not tucking our tail. We're not changing our spine. Inhale again. Fill up the belly. Just like our pregnant cat, but now in this different position, you let the belly expand, and then you exhale and decrease the diameter of the waist and draw the belly in and up slightly with that exhale. So really that core engagement happens naturally when we breathe fully here. So inhale again, and exhale and breathe it all out. Every last bit of air. Beautiful. Rest your arms down by your side. Now we're going to start to move the pelvis. So go ahead and inhale again to fill up the belly. On your exhale, feel the belly hollow and roll the pubic bone towards the belly button. A nice gather and lift of the pelvic floor. And then we inhale and we reach past neutral into a little baby arch of the low back. Let me take it again. We exhale, curl pubic bone to belly button, flattening the low back into the mat. And then we inhale and we reach that tail away. Beautiful. Take it again. Exhale, roll. Inhale, reach away. Last two. Exhale, curl. Inhale, reach away. One more. Exhale, curl. Inhale, reach away. So now we're really focusing on our breath and getting nice full breath with every movement. Next, exhale, roll your pubic bone towards your belly button. Press through the feet and start to roll up into a bridge. So you're peeling your hips and your spine up off the mat, resting the weight in your shoulders and in your feet. We're going to push the arms down into the mat here. We're going to lift the hips a little bit higher. Take a nice big inhale. And then exhale and roll down bone by bone, one vertebra at a time. Keeping those arms pressing into the mat so we're wide through the chest and the collarbone. Roll all the way down. You take an inhale at the bottom and then you exhale and you roll up again. So we're trying to find nice movement through the spine, nice articulation through the spine so we can nourish the discs and massage everything surrounding and within the spine. And then roll it down. Think about softening your chest, softening your ribs, hollowing the belly, and just melting down. We'll just do one more like that for now. Press through those feet. Think equal weight between big toe side of the foot and pinky toe side of the foot. As you press down through those feet, your hips lift. We push down through the arms, so we're engaging the backs of the arms as well. And then we roll down bone by bone, one vertebra at a time, all the way down. Beautiful. From here, so we've just been moving the pelvis. Now we're going to work on the stability to strengthen that deep core even more. So find your neutral again. Hip bones, pubic bone on the same plane. Arms down by your side. Take an inhale. On your exhale, float your right leg up to a tabletop position. 90-degree angle at the hip, 90-degree angle at the knee, directly over the hip there. Pelvis hasn't moved. No twisting, no rolling, no rounding. Lower that back down and do the other side. So this is just a nice exercise to start working on pelvic stability and our ability to move our legs without moving our hips. Let's float that right leg up and inhale it down. And can you also attach your movement to the breath? You exhale your leg up. You inhale it down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Every time you exhale, imagine narrowing your waist slightly. Maybe narrowing the space between the hip bones as though you could make your pelvis smaller. That's going to help engage our deep core. Inhale it down. Exhale the left leg up. Inhale it down. Bring the right leg up to stay up and hold it there. Imagine there's a paintbrush on your knee pointing up to the ceiling, and you're going to start to paint circles on the ceiling with your knee paintbrush. And you're going to focus on keeping those hips nice and stable as the leg just stirs in that hip socket. Good. One more. And then we'll reverse that circle and go the other way. We're trying to keep the opposite side of the body completely stable. You may notice that your left leg is going to want to go out to the side to help stabilize you, but try to resist that so you can really make those deep core muscles work to stabilize you. It's so good for you. One more. And then we place that right foot down and let's switch to the left side. Float your left leg up. Feel that thigh bone just drop in the hip socket nice and heavy, and then start to draw circles. Like there's a paintbrush on your left knee, and the circle stays on the ceiling. So we're keeping the knee pointing up to the sky the whole time. Right hip stays heavy into the mat, so it's not twisting. Reverse your circle, go the other way. Keep breathing. Last one. Beautiful. Place that foot down, relax. Float your right leg up to tabletop position, hold it up, and then bring your left leg up to meet it. Reach those arms up to the sky. We're going to do a modified 100 today, which is actually the first exercise in the classical mat sequence, and it's built to get that heart pumping a little bit and get circulation flowing. So the legs will stay in tabletop. Take a nice big inhale. On your exhale, curl the head, neck, and shoulders up and place your arms just hovering off the ground right next to your hips. From here, we inhale for 5 beats of the arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then exhale for the next 5 beats. Inhale and exhale. I want you to think about breathing into your back and breathing out of your belly. Inhale into the back, exhale out of the belly. Every time we breathe out, that belly button pulls in and up. We're really pumping the arms vigorously while we try to keep the torso stable. Keep breathing. Inhale and exhale and in and exhale. Last 2 and exhale. Last one and exhale. Beautiful. Let's place the knees down. Reach your arms out to the side in a T. Squeeze your knees and your ankles together so it's like your 2 legs are now just 1 leg, and I want you to let those knees twist to the left. Our right hip will lift off the mat, but our right shoulder stays anchored, so we're getting this beautiful twist in the waist here. And then come back to center and go the other way, keeping that left foot attached to the right foot. So my left foot is off the ground and floating on top. I want to try to keep my knees together as much as possible and then bring it back. So we're getting that rotation through the spine, opening up through the side body, and bring it back and switch. Coming back to center, you'll extend both legs long on your mat and reach the arms up overhead. We're going for our roll up here. If the roll up does not work for you, I want you to bend your knees and grab your legs and use your arms to help you up. Okay, so that's an option if you find that the roll up the way I'm doing it isn't going to work for you. It's actually a beginner exercise in the classical mat sequence, but it is in no way, shape, or form easy at all. So we squeeze our legs together, heels together, toes apart. Arms are reaching up overhead. Take an inhale to lift your head and your arms up towards the ceiling, and then use your exhale to roll all the way up, reaching forward over your toes. Now we take a second at the top here to feel the belly button pull back. So we've got this nice hollowing of the belly, stretching of the back, and then the arms are really reaching forward. From there, start to roll down bone by bone. No matter what you have to do to get up, you should be able to take this roll down with me. So you really reach forward through the fingertips as though someone's trying to keep you up while you're pulling down with as much control as you can possibly find. Nice. We'll take that 2 more times. Chin to the chest, roll it up. Reach forward over those toes. Breathe in through the back. Feel the back expand. Exhale to roll down, finding your control. Bone by bone of your spine goes into the mat. Last one, roll it up. Feel that belly hollow as you reach forward. And then we roll it all the way down, bone by bone, 1 vertebra at a time. From here, right away, we're going to hug the right knee into the chest. You're putting your hands on your shin and you're just pulling that knee up as much as you can. So we're getting this nice deep crease in the hip socket. Maintain that position. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up and see if you can float your left leg to hover it off the mat. Now, the lower we go with this leg, the harder it can be on the core. So if you find it's too difficult, lift that leg up. So we're really hugging in through the right side, but lengthening out through the left side. And we're just going to switch legs. Use an exhale to hug that left knee in deep and extend through the right, and then switch. We inhale as we switch. We exhale to deepen the position. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. You got this. Stay curled up to the tips of those shoulder blades. 1 more each way. Nice, and switch. Beautiful. We hug both knees into the chest here. Let's lower the head for a moment and just turn your head side to side. Awesome. Take another inhale and then exhale and curl it up. Shoulders are down away from the ears. Be careful that you're not putting too much tension in the neck there. Now we're going to extend the arms and the legs at the same time away from us. So the legs lengthen away, the fingertips reach down by your side again, and then we hug it back in. Now you can always do this keeping your head down if you prefer. And same thing here, the lower your legs go, the harder it is on the core, the harder it is to maintain that connection. So take what feels right for you. If you feel any pain in the low back, take the legs higher or don't fully extend. That's totally fine. We'll take 2 more. Exhale, inhale, extend. Exhale, hug it in. 1 more. And release. Let your head drop again. Turn your head side to side for a little release through the neck. And then we're going to float back onto our stomachs for a little exercise to strengthen the upper back and the whole back of the body. So you'll lay on your stomach with your legs long, hip distance apart, elbows bent with your hands underneath your shoulders. Here I want you to feel the pubic bone and the hip bones pressing evenly into the mat, and feel a gentle lift of your belly away from the mat so the core is engaged to help protect the spine the whole time. We're going to keep the tops of the feet pressing in the mat. Forehead on the mat for a moment. Now we're going to extend our arms out to the side. We're going to keep them there for now, a little bit lifted up off the mat. From here, lift your head and your chest and reach the pinky fingers all the way into your hips as you try to lift through that upper back a little bit more, but keep feeling the reach away with your toes and that pubic bone pressing down. And then we release back to having the arms open out to the side. And again, we lift the head and the chest, the arms pull back, the fronts of the shoulders roll open, such a beautiful exercise for posture, and then release it back down. Taking that again, we lift and reach. And we release. You keep your gaze down on the ground, but a little bit forward. That's going to help us keep the back of the neck long and not create any strain in the back of the neck. Next one, we lift up. We're going to hold it there. Feel energy reaching out the crown of the head and the tail, and then pump the arms up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Come up to hands and knees. Hands directly under the shoulders, knees directly underneath the hips. You're going to feel a gentle lift of the belly, just a little bit of a hug in and up, but you should still be able to breathe. We'll maintain our nice neutral spine and extend the right arm and the left leg. Find your balance, hold it. Open the arm and the leg out to the side, only as far as you can go without changing the hips. Lower, bring it back in and then lower it back down. Taking the other side, reach it up. Open. Bring it back in and lower it down. We'll keep moving like that, trying to keep the hips nice and stable and the torso stable, keeping the spine neutral. So we're finding nice stability with the deep core as our arm and our leg move nice and freely. Reach in and right back down. Keep going, lengthen out, open, bring it in and lower and reach and open and in. And release it all the way back down. Beautiful. We're going to come to laying on our side now and do a classical exercise called leg kicks forward and back. I want you to lay your body back towards the back edge of your mat. Have your bottom hand behind your head, elbow on the mat, top of the arm on the mat, legs long, and then the other hand's going to go behind the head too. Now, this is a stability challenge. If it feels like way out of the realm of possibilities for you today, you can always have this top hand on the mat, and that will help. Our legs are forward towards the front corner of our mat, so there's about a 45-degree angle at our hips. The back of the head presses into the hands, so you feel really proud and open through your chest. Long neck, lift your top leg up to hip level. We flex the ankles, and then we're kicking the leg forward as far as you feel like you can go, and then stretch the foot and bring it all the way back. And then we take that again. We kick the leg forward. We stay really nice and stable from belly button up as the leg kicks back. Keep pushing that top elbow back and reach. Good. Exhale forward, inhale back. We'll do 3 more. Flex it forward, stretch it back. Last 2, forward. Keep that leg up on hip level throughout. 1 more. You'll hold the leg back towards the back corner of your mat. Really reach energy out of the toes so our waist is nice and long, and then we lift the leg up and down. Keeping the waist long, think about reaching your toes away from you, reaching the leg out to go up. And we're only lifting as high as we can using the hip and not the obliques. So we're reaching long here, we're staying long through the waist. 3 more, you should feel a little work in the side of the hip. And 2, and 1. Awesome, release that leg down and we'll flip right on over to the other side. Body at the back edge of your mat. Legs forward towards the front corner of your mat. Flex the ankles. Press the back of the head into the hands or have your top hand on the mat. That's up to you. Lift the leg up to hip level and maintain that height as we kick forward on our exhale and reach back on our inhale. Forward. and back. Awesome work. Try not to twist the upper body. That's the hard part. Really keep that elbow darting up to the sky. Good. 2 more here. Flex it forward. Stretch through the foot and flex it forward. Stretch back, hold, really reach through that foot, and then we lift and lower. Good. Lift and lower. Reaching out to go up. Always feel that energy reaching out of the toes. That oppositional energy is one of the things that makes Pilates so wonderful. Good. 3 more. 3 and 2 and 1, and then we'll relax from there and come all the way up to sitting. We're going to do an exercise called the saw, which is so good for wringing toxins out of the body. It's like wringing out a wet towel. So you're going to find a sitting position with your legs straight out in front of you, a little bit wider than your hips if possible. Now, if this position is really uncomfortable for you, I want you to grab a stack of blankets or towels or a pillow, something that can stack your hips up a little bit higher than your legs to make the position a little bit easier for you. So once you're in a comfortable seat, you'll reach your arms straight out to the side, you'll soften your shoulders away from the ears, and you're going to stack those ribs up right over the hips and sit up nice and tall. Take a nice big inhale. As you exhale, you'll twist towards your right leg and bring your left hand outside of your right foot. You're pulling your belly into your back and you're twisting as far as you can, reaching long through both hands, and then stack it back up. And then we take it the other way. So it's a rounding of the spine as we twist. We really reach past the foot as the back arm reaches behind us. Exhale, breathe every last bit of air out, and then inhale to stack it up. We'll go a little bit faster now. Exhale, reach. Inhale it up. Exhale, reach. Inhale it up. 1 more each way. Exhale, reach. Inhale, find length through the center, and exhale, reach. And inhale, find length through the center. Beautiful. We're going to bend those knees and put the feet flat down on the mat in front of us. We're going to practice some teaser V variations. So a teaser is a challenging advanced exercise in Pilates, and we're just going to work on the top of the movement for now. The V, if you will. So we're going to drop the shoulders. We're going to sit up nice and tall, and then I want you to exhale and tuck your tail under and find just a little mini scoop of the low belly. Yeah? So the tail is tucked under. We're thinking pubic bone to belly button. We feel that belly hollow. Shoulders are down. From here, you draw your right leg up to tabletop position. You bring your left leg up to meet it, and then you rotate your knees out slightly so you have heels together, toes apart. Hands down is always a good option here if this feels like too much on your hips. We're going to extend those arms out in front of you. On your exhale, extend your legs any amount that's working for your body today, and then inhale to bend it in. Exhale to extend. Your belly pulls back as your legs extend. Inhale to bend. 2 more there. And inhale to bend. And 1 more. And bend. Beautiful. Place both feet down. Place your hands back on the mat behind you, with your fingertips facing forward towards your body if possible. If that's not possible for your wrists, you can try back behind you or up to the side. I like fingertips in because it really gives me a nice stretch through the arms and the shoulders, but you have to do what feels right for your body. Toes are pointing forward. We're going to press down into the mat with our hands and our feet, scoop the belly into the back, and lift the hips up. Push down through hands and feet to lift as high as you feel like you possibly can, and then just lower it back down. Taking that again, push down through hands and feet to lift the hips. And lower. 2 more, lift. You got this. And lower. 1 more, we're going to hold it up at the top and stay. Now maybe you just hang out here and really press down and feel stable and feel those glutes turn on. If you're ready for more of a challenge, I want you to float 1 leg up and place it down. Woo! Switch and lowered. We're trying to find nice stability through the hips here. And switch. 1 more each way. Last one. Awesome. Let's put both feet down. Let's push the hips up a tiny bit more, and then go ahead and lower all the way down, and we're going to do a little mermaid series. So we're going to start with a nice, easy, stretchy mermaid, and then we're going to work up to something a tiny bit more difficult. You could always stay on the mermaid if you're feeling like that's better for you. So we sit in a nice Z-sit position with our front knee turned out to one side and the back knee turned out to the other side. So your back leg is turned in, and your front leg is turned out. Yeah. Some people know it as like a 90-90 position. Again, if this isn't super comfortable for you, you can try a stack of blankets under your hips. You could even do a cross-legged position if that feels better. We reach our arms out to the side, check in and make sure your ribs are over your hips, and then we'll take a nice big stretch over towards the front knee, reaching up and over, opening up through the side body, and then lengthen back up. Grab your opposite wrist and reach, ankle, and reach the other way. Take that just one more time, just getting this nice opening through the side body, breathing and releasing. We tend to neglect this side body, so it's good to really open and stretch. Now we're going to go into a modified side bend, or you can keep doing that mermaid, whatever feels right for you. Bottom knee is bent, top leg is long, and the knees are still stacked. Hand is on the mat right underneath the shoulder, arm reaches over the leg. We're going to press up from the hip and reach into that nice big mermaid stretch. And then you're going to slowly, with control, lower it back down and take that 2 more times, lift. So this is still a modified version of a side bend, so it should feel like work with a little bit of stretch, a relatively gentle exercise. There's no need for us to work so hard, right? We can do a gentle workout and still have tons of wonderful benefits for the heart and for the whole body. So your legs are long, knees are stacked, top foot is reaching out, hand is under the shoulder, other arm reaches out long. Lift through the hip, side bend. So Pilates was created by someone named Joseph Pilates, if you don't know that, and he actually believed that muscle fatigue was like poison for the body. So Pilates is not designed to exhaust your muscles. It's designed to work and build strength without creating toxic muscle fatigue, basically. Lower. One more. Awesome. And release with control. Beautiful. Come back to hands and knees for me. We are going to finish with a little push-up series. Tuck your toes under, press your hips up, and right away walk your hands in towards your feet, letting your head hang heavy, and just roll up bone by bone, one vertebra at a time, and we're going to go back to that roll down that we found at the beginning of class today, and I want you to see if it feels any different, if it feels like your body is a little bit more mobile and flexible here. We're going to reach the arms up to the sky, nod your chin to your chest, start to roll down, soften your knees whenever you need to, and then right away we're going to walk our hands out until we can find a plank position. So keeping your plank if that feels good, or dropping your knees if that feels better. Whatever you do is fine with me. We're going to bend the elbows, elbows pulling in towards each other, lower down as far as you feel like you have control of, press back up, and then right away lift your hips back up into that up stretch. Walk your hands towards your feet, hang that head heavy, roll yourself up. We're just going to do that 2 more times, so that's just 3 push-ups. You got this. Nod your chin to your chest and roll it down. Head hangs heavy. Walk those hands out. Find a plank or drop to your knees, whichever feels more productive for you today. Bend those elbows. Extend, keeping the chest reaching forward. Lift your hips. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Head is heavy. Roll it up. Last one, reach those arms up. Chin to the chest. Walk your hands out. Plank or knees down. Bend your elbows. Push it straight. Feel your belly hug into your back. Lift your hips up. We're going to stay here for a moment. Ears between the arms, right in line with your biceps. Be careful that you're not straining in the back of the neck here. And then bend your right knee and drop your left heel to the mat for a little extra stretch through the back of the leg. And switch. One more time each way, just treading through those feet. Back of the neck is long. Both heels drop. See if you can lift your tailbone up to the sky and widen those sits bones. Walk your hands in towards your feet. Really let your head hang heavy. Feel your arms drape. And just slowly roll up. As you're rolling up, you're feeling those feet ground down into the earth. You're feeling your hips stack up right back over the heels. Your ribs pull up over your hips. And the crown of the head is like a helium balloon just floating up to the sky as your shoulders are heavy and dropping down towards the ground. Take a moment to feel really tall. Nice work. Thank you so much.